Good morning, fellow zombies. Are we sleep screwed up and emotionally deprived? Or are we sleep deprived and emotionally screwed up? All sections. It's 1:01 in the morning, West Coast time. It's Sunday, the 30th of June, 2024. Your zombie Weaver John C. of Roseman, California. Roar. Yeah. Morning to you too, guys. So, trying to go through the YouTube, see what's interesting stuff they have. Conspiracy going on about how prices are in the housing market is going insane that people can't afford houses anymore. Only the super richer groups buying a property left and right, and there's no legislation. You got these reporters blaming Biden for this shit, and I'm like, no, 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 no. You also got to blame the Congress because Congress is screwing this damn thing up in the first place. If they got off their dead asses and got some programs started, maybe they would have done anything. Biden hasn't said anything about the housing program because I don't think it's hit him yet. But if it has, he's kept it under low profile. Housing prices out here in California are getting astronomical, including LA County and City of Los Angeles. Lack of properties out there for people to move into. Supply and demand, economics 101 situation. Problem is you got the higher interest rates going on. People can't move out because they have no other places to move into. If they wanted to move across town to another location, they can't do that because there's not enough housing. And because the groups out there are trying to buy a property and the interest rates are getting up there. I mean, way up there. You got people locked out. You got to have at least 400,000 or 500,000 just to maybe open up the door if you're lucky. Only people with a lot of cash or groups with a lot of cash can do that kind of thing. Buy up block properties. Property prices get jumping up there left or right, and you get locked out of the American dream. Buying property is the American dream, right? I thought I was getting your own stuff together, but property builds equity and builds something. Maybe until you screw that thing up. So, but what Young Turks were going crazy over a couple of days ago with their postings. Only one candidate who is so despised and so not on the top radar of everybody. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has decided to go against the real estate market. Those trying to buy up all the properties and screw everybody else left and right. Every other kind of conspiracy theory out there is out there for game. You know, he's still a conspiracy nut, but the one thing he cares about right now is not making anybody else homeless or wanting people to get into homes if there is a market for it, if there is a supply for it, because we're not showing it out here. Oh, we had a decrease in the homeless population, in the homeless count, because Mayor Bass took executive actions and orders from the council to get properties, commercial properties, and use them for temporary shelters until we can find something else to work with. So she's trying to find ways of put the homeless off the streets, temporarily at best. It's not a permanent, but it's something. So that's the political footage that you keep seeing left and right on YouTube. People really being angry and pissy about things. People having conniption fits over this or that. Ugh, it was just depressing the crap out of me. How far evangelicals will go to state their position of how to indoctrinate kids into religion while trying to sneak it past the court systems and the Constitution, but they still think it's necessary, especially the Oklahoma State Legislature. No, not the legislature. State Superintendent. He's willing to fight everybody on it. He has to have people. He has to have the young people indoctrinated. He has to have Bibles in every class. And he's insistent. Not to mention other pastors out there who want that same situation too. They all have to be religious. That'll make me throw up. I know Christ wanted a church, but man, did he wanted this mass conversion? So what we're doing is a mass conversion next time. Oh, even the superintendent has threatened teachers' jobs in Oklahoma. You don't play ball, you get fired. How many teachers are willing to get a layoff right now, or are willing to walk off the job? Bet you if they get to do a strike at the situation, they'll all get fired. Even the teachers' unions will be going up in arms on this one. But the legislature, actually the state superintendent, he wants this. I don't know what his major malfunction is, and I don't know what the hell these evangelicals think that they're doing at this point. But this is a rush, massive exodus to the Bible. We must be ready for the rapture. We have to force people into the situation. Christ never wanted anything forced down people's throat. He would teach, but it would be up to the recipient to digest the information, whether or not if he's actually willing to follow it or not. It is a choice. What the state's doing, and I'm talking about the individual states are doing, is going against the U.S. Constitution. But that didn't get me as bad as the one where I kept saying a return to the cooking. Cowboy Kent Rollins. This guy's been out there for, I don't know how many decades. He's been on the trail. He's been on real cowboy trails and cooking for people. So he's got a lot of recipes. But the one thing he's still struggling with, and I kept seeing it in him, he's still mourning and grieving over his best friend, his beagle. I could see it in the slump picture of him. I could see it. You'd know it. He wants to show you how good a steak can taste. But that's fine. He's still grieving. He's still mourning. When I saw it, and I had to go back in the other comments and other videos, he was trying to sell a shirt, but he still had it in him. I can't tell you how long I've suppressed my own thoughts and feelings about death, about how many people and pets have passed away that I knew, and how much I had to hold on to my sanity and just had emotional moleskin on so I wouldn't have to feel anything. But past decades taught me that it doesn't stick very well, especially when you grieve that hard and you miss them that hard. Of course, people will tell me that you gotta get over it one way or another. You don't get over death. You don't get over grieving and mourning. You had that much love. Nah, you don't get over it. You just deal with it. You cope with it. You try to function, but you let it happen. I'm learning it every day. I'll get triggered every day on this one. There's no way past it. I've had it. I've been mourning and grieving without trying to realize it for a long while. It never got easier, but I had to make it easier. I had to force myself to be easier. I didn't have to think about it as much, and if I did, it would hurt like crazy. But shove away the feelings and just deal with everything else and just not go crazy. Unfortunately, I lost Ma, then I lost Dee, and then I lost the little boy and my dog, and I lost David afterwards. Yeah, You're talking about Broken City here. Very much Broken City. So I am not going to apologize for any of my videos out there. I'm not going to apologize for the stuff I'm saying. I'm not apologizing for what my expressions are. If they don't like it, that's on them. I don't care. I don't care. I care what happens to the things and the people I care about. I worry about them more. But I don't care about their damn attitudes of telling me that I have to think about this. I really could care less about it. Unless they've already walked it, they have no clue. I even made videos concerning about homelessness, about being on GR and food stamps. And some of those videos already got out there already. Maybe addressed to different people, left and right, but it's still out there. And I've heard people making stories. I've heard of them. Like these guys haven't been in that situation. They haven't been torn apart. And they don't know how to survive on it. It's never easy. It's not supposed to be easy. You just deal with it. You deal, you cope, you cry. If you have to, you yell and scream if you must, but you still deal with it. Why? Because it is. If you need help, you get help. You don't keep it in, you get help. It's not weakness. It's survival. How about this one? You ever heard about no-fault divorce? I don't know how long that damn thing's been out there. Yeah, still got this thing worked on. I'm having issues with my wrist because a couple of days ago I sprained it. Far too long I've had this bent and I've had muscles pulled and stretched and given me so much pain that I had to take Motrin for it. A couple of Tylenol if necessary. Have cold wraps, cold compress on it to take away the swelling a bit. And stay in this for a long while. This is my sleep brace. Now I gotta deal with it 24/7. Definitely not in the shower. I need one. But this, according to Wikipedia, regarding a no-fault divorce, getting back to that, dissolution of a marriage that does not require a showing of wrongdoing by either party. Okay. Different countries have that one, don't they? Some states out here in the United States have it too. Goes on to saying that laws provided for no-fault divorce allow a family court to grant a divorce in response to a petition by either party of the marriage without requiring the petitioner to provide evidence that the defendant has committed a breach of the marital contract, which means usually before this thing became an action somehow the divorce situation was, as far as I understood, and I'm not an expert. There's no way I'm an expert, but as much as I understand it, you had to petition the courts and tell them that there was fault. He cheated on me, dirty right scoundrel. Yeah. We ain't detected for sweet I'm here. You lied to me, woman. You cheated on me. Well, he was a cute boy over there. Cute boy's a few years younger than you. I saw you playing patty cakes in that gin game of yours. I'm not having anybody like that ever again in my life. Judge, get us divorced. Bit of an example. Roughshod. Of course, there had to be stuff going back and forth. It's like, okay, fine. We got the paperwork signed out. Here you go. Good. But basically, the no fault would be like if both parties are saying, okay, fine, we can't deal with each other. We got irreconcilable differences at this point over here. We're not going to contest it. We're not going to dispute it. We're just going to sign the paperwork and then we're done. It's worse off when you have the kids. Then you got a custody battle. Unless, of course, you've already managed to get that wired down before you get the no fault signed out, and then you're done. But it always hurts when you've got property and you've got kids involved, or pets, or all of it. If you already got it amicably done, then fine. Or maybe you're just going to be visiting every so often, but not on a constant basis where you're there 24/7 or whatever case is going to be. I don't know. But apparently some of these conservative people out there don't like it. They consider marriage as ball and chain time. You're stuck with each other. You're in the chain gang, boys and girls. You wanted that woman, you wanted that man. Well, guess what, boys and girls? You're stuck with them. We got to have stability for the kids, even though mom and dad are yelling and screaming at each other. But we have to have stability in the house now, don't we? Yeah, until somebody brings up something that really tears the family apart one way or another. You get the cops coming over here, and somebody goes to jail, and somebody who's not going to jail. Or the kids get to be put in foster care. How many of those times the stories we kept running out to all of our lives on those? But some people want us to stay that way because they think it's the greatest Christian conservative thing ever. Twitzels. I swear. But this isn't a new concept, though. This has been around. How about this one? It's been a European concept. 1757. Frederick the Great. Prussia took a pioneering role, allowing marriages to be dissolved on the ground of serious and continuous hostility between spouses without pointing to any one party. One guilty party, anyway. Early example of a no-fault divorce was expanded on and formalized in 1784 with the general state laws of the Prussian states, which allowed childless couples to file for divorce without giving a ground. You gotta love history. You gotta love history. Because when you keep reading stuff like this, sometimes you think, it's not an American invention? No, Prussian. Ah! It's an immigrant situation! The immigrants did it to us! Not really. Because they were doing it long before our country even got its ass kicked up. Think of it, 1757. Where the hell were we? We were still dealing with the British and their insanity. We had no representation. We hadn't even got the revolution started, but we had the ideas of happening of it. So this isn't an American institution, by the way. And that's, sometimes Wikipedia gets it right, and other times Wikipedia can stretch it out a bit. But for the most part, when they start putting in links that I can take a look in and try to research this stuff, then I got no issues with that. So even with this stuff here, this is still, I'm going to hold on to that one. I'm going to get a printout, put it as a PDF and hold it for storage. Why not? It's information. It's information. But they think it's Christian. I mean, it's wokeism. It's anti-Christian. Well, maybe. Maybe. For some people. You know what gets to me? Going back over to the Oklahoma crap and Louisiana and Texas doing their shit. They're saying all these things required the Bible to have the country started. The Bible started the country. No, the Bible did not start the country, but we did have colonists coming from other countries into America to start their own colonies, have their own belief systems. And nobody was trying to consolidate them all. I'm saying we had to have one party, one religious thing, and that's about it. Just one. We didn't have that. We wanted to have the freedom to express our religions, and not force it upon people. But unfortunately, the conservatives want it forced upon people because they think it's their religious duty. They must do it because they're trying to please God or trying to please Christ. How dare these heathens not do this? Follow us. They are heathens. We must condemn them. Fine, let's get the Spanish Inquisition out there. Let's put a Mel's Brooks situation there. By the way, happy birthday, Mel's Brook. 98 years old and going insane. Yeah. The Inquisition, what a show, the Inquisition. Oh yeah, History of the World Part 1. Once in a great while I need to get a laugh. Once away and there. So, but we also had other brutal but also economic ones happening across Europe and Middle East. So we had all these things happening over here. We had the wokeism back then. But America wasn't wokeism. America was trying to find its identity. It was trying to find its way. We did have southern states that wanted things doing their way and have people enslaved. Didn't matter in what they were. You're going to be indentured to your ass. You're going to be sold. So you're going to be a slave to some other schmuck. They needed you for personal labor to manual labor for other things. So your freedoms suck. Like everything else did. If that's the case, then we're really in trouble, weren't we? People want to go back to that time where slavery was king. Keep the women where they are. No power, no say, no nothing. Just walking, talking, mobile incubators. That's about it. Cook us our food because we are men and we deserve it and we are godly and we are Christian and. You know, going through school as a kid, we didn't talk about it as much. We didn't get any class discussions, except if we had the information right. We had to be tested left and right. We had to get scantrons, bubble in things, make sure we had the things right. We didn't write essays about the situations K through 12. At least not what we did back then. But you get into the college system. When you get into the road to academia, to the higher level of education, yes, you had to write. And you had to write well. And clearly, you had to type it too. You really had to be on top of your cursive. I don't do that anymore. My handwriting sucks as it is, and I depend upon the keyboard all the time. So I have to keep my mind sharp on these things, what the process is, and how to keep the process going. That's why I do a bit of research every so often just to look at stuff and see whether or not I'm actually going to be doing an essay on it or not. And something like this, probably no fault of course. I have no personal experience in this, so it would go by the wayside. Now, if you're talking about Bibles in schools, that's a different story altogether. That I will get into a debate with. It's like, for me, creation versus evolution. Yeah, I did that essay, Political Science 101, but not in my adult, but in my youth. And I argued for evolution, not science. Actually, not for creation. Because I wasn't thinking or feeling along those lines concerning about creationism, concerning about religion being still indoctrinated in school, even as a debate situation. So I had to research it. I had to research evolution. I had to research the scientists to make my case on the damn thing. But it was just an exercise happening in the class, not an actual debate over it. But you're going to be asking me concerning about creationism versus evolutionism. I still take it evolution. So to find this one, if we're still finding dinosaur bones, and they are carbon dated a lot longer than 6 or 7 thousand years since the Earth was purportedly created, how is that possible? And how is it possible that we are a flat Earth when everything else was rounded outside? Because of because of gravitational forces. Uh, when you have a lot of objects clumped together, and there's some kind of force that happens that makes a lot of attraction. Maybe it's minerals attracting other minerals. Maybe they had this magnetic influence or something. Who knows? They really hadn't got that point cleared out, made already. They haven't discussed about it. At least not that I've seen in the books. But then again, I need to study up on that one now, don't I? But in the process that we're seeing in evidence, around it, they're spheroid, they have a bulge because of gravity, but they have a spin to it. They have a roundness to them. It may be roughshod. Even the sun's got it. Is the sun considered flat? Why would the Earth be considered flat? We thought we were the center of the universe until we discovered we weren't. Some people consider that Apollo didn't happen. It was all fake, fake, fake. We had special effects. Have they actually seen the cheesy movies back then, back in the 50s and 60s? Those are your special effects right there. Give me a freaking break. I'll take the science. But here comes this. For me, sometimes science is also part Caesar. Not just a government way of looking at things, but trying to find something factual until we find something else to substantiate it. And until that happens, I'm still sticking with the science. If we have theories to prove and we still test out the theories by hypothesis, by testing, to see if we've got an actual fact, an actual law, sometimes the laws can be modified if we discover that there's something else that we didn't see or detect. Science is always evolving. But they say creation is it because God demands it, God says it, and that's it, and we deal with it. You don't like it, you're blasphemous. Okay, I'm blasphemous. You're not a Christian. Well, I'm Christian, but I'm also Jewish if I happen to follow the faith. I'll be Hindu or Muslim if I happen to read about the faith and try to look at it, study it, maybe apply a few things. But I'm not pure. He's not pure. Well, should I be? Should I be pure? According to someone else's definition? Or dementia? I'll say it, dementia. People, too many of the religious folk, are still thinking about, what if it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. We got to be prepared for it. What are we preparing for? It's coming! Okay. Tell I have a nice day. Stay the hell out of my damn apartment. I'm still dealing with stuff over here. You don't understand! We got to, nah. Okay. You go your way. I'm still staying. No, I'm going to grab you by your shoulders and shake you apart. You need to understand this. Why? So I'm sharing into your same fantasy and your same lunacy? Ah, yeah. Blasphemer. You will be judged. You will be condemned. And I'm above you. And the only thing I can see at that point is ego running amok. That's the thing concerning about religious belief. If they are so hell bent on that damn thing converting people, it's not converting people. It's trying to get your own personal power, your own ego fed. You're you're succubus. You're vampires. You're sucking on everybody. You're leeches. You're not spreading the word. You're not spreading the gospel. You're spreading your own damn insanity. No thanks. No thanks. If God or Jesus decides to call me up, they're going to call me up. If they're going to be coming through the door, they're going to be coming through the door. And maybe they come through the roof. Who knows? Or maybe just phase in right through the walls. Maybe there'll be an angel just knocking on the damn door. Who knows? I'm sorry, Mr. Weaver, but the rapture has begun. Have you prepared for it? Define preparation. It's not like you guys have already sent out the warnings left and right on this one. Oh, but we did. Yes, and if I happen to read the damn... It's not the damn book. No. If I read someone else's ranting and ravings about what the things are going on, yeah. Our environment's going crazy because we screwed it over at that point. We got politicians losing their damn minds. We got religious folks trying to screw up our politics here in the United States. We got people trying to deny and being mean to everybody. I mean, you're talking about world going hell in a handbasket. And I'm still trying to find out what's the good yet. We want to be nice and kind to people. Fine. We can try to be nice and kind to people. We can put up our media and our wear for that one. But we also have a way of devastating people left and right with our mouths and our attitudes. What else is new? But are you prepared for it? Lady, do you see the physicality of this place? Does it look like I'm ready for this thing? I should have been keeping this place clean a long time ago. But you know what kind of reminded me of that story about the master coming to town? The master is coming. I listened to that one every Easter I could for a long while. And I tried to keep it inside of me at that point. If the master was coming into my particular house, if I knew it, how would I react? But the thing is, he'd be coming in an area or in a way that I'd least expect it. So if he comes knocking on the door, I'm going to see who he's coming in as. But I'll never see it. Because maybe he's already been here a long time ago, and that's about it. And if he has been, well, I guess I'm not going to be one of those people. There was a story I also came across a long time ago. An illustrated story, but it was also told in the pews on this one. There was a group of people living high on a mountain, in a plateau, and there was this cloud coming in. And these were the angels, or I guess they were angels or something from God, trying to find out who these people are and were they worthy enough. And those who were worthy, or they were weeded out, selected, but they also came up willingly. And they were taken away. For those who are ready to be taken away, period. But for the rest of them, they were cowering and scared. There was a baby that was left crying who got abandoned by the clouds. So the group had to regain whatever they lost by taking care of the kid, raising him, and people changing for the better. Instead of being rotten, scared, terrified, insecure egomaniacs. I've added a few colorful touches on that one there. But the cloud came back years later and asked the same question. And this time the people thought, yeah, no, we're ready. They were judged and they were taken away, and nobody stayed on that mountain. I kept thinking about that story from time to time. I'm probably still the guy going to be staying on the mountain because I'm not quite worthy for it. But if I am, okay, let them judge me as such. I still consider myself a fool and idiot. And I still have my bad points as well. But if I got my good points, I haven't sold them to anybody. Nah, I know the weaknesses I've got already. But the thing is, if I know them, I still have the maybe opportunities to just wean them a bit, or more so. Not try to be this way or that way. Try to be a lot more in changing because of the choices made. It's so damn easy to be a judgmental, arrogant, egotistical bastard and thinking that I'm better than everybody else and I gotta tell people my way because it's going to have to be that way. I've been dealing with that one for a hell of a long while. But I'm no better than the next schmuck. And I've seen a lot of schmucks. So what am I supposed to say or do about it? I deal, I cope, I move on, and I go back to bed. And seriously, at this point, I'll go back to bed. It's too damn early for me to stay up like this and go crazy over this. Everyone else is trying to think and feel that they are moral superior and they have to be that way towards everybody else because they want to lead people. I'm not in that situation, guys. I've never been in that way. I'm not in the way for leading people left and right. I'm not even comfortable with leading myself. I had enough problems with that as it is. I got enough problems with that damn ego trip. No, thank you. I already been screwed up that way, thinking I know better. I don't. I observed a hell of a lot of things, and I talk about things. But an instructor, I gotta know that I'm secure in it. I'm not secure in it. That's why I'm probably the guy that's going to be left behind because I'll say it all. I'm not secure. I'm not how God will look at me and judge me. I'm not quite sure how Christ would judge me. If he still wanted somebody to try to do the groundwork, fine. If I'm still on step one, I'm still on step one. Everyone else has got the higher ranks up in the ladders and stuff. Fine, I'm still on the ground floor. Well, somebody's got to talk to these assholes anyway. If I haven't been up topside and come back down, I'll be a changed man. But since I'm not, I'm still here. But the thing of it is, concerning about my own passing, about the age of 4 years old, it didn't prepare me much. It scared the hell out of me much. It did. How do you get prepared for death when you're 4 years old in a heart operation? You just don't. You just go through it. And then you got to deal with it afterwards. I was in a small feet then. It's definitely not feet for myself right now as it is. Okay, sleep.